Hey guys, welcome back to the Bucket Think Tank. How's your fandom treating you? And today I want to talk about Let's Get Dangerous, the 44-minute special for Ducktales. And honestly, I felt this was a really great Darkwing Duck story, not really a good Ducktales story. What I mean by that is, if you were to tell me that Darkwing Duck was going to branch off and get his own series, I would say this episode is a great jumping off point for him. We go to St. Canard for the first time. We get to see DW meet Gosalyn. We can see him meet Launchpad. We can see his Rogues Gallery show up, courtesy of Taurus Bullba, aka a member of Fowl. Those aspects incorporates other things, like the reveal of Fowl to the Duck family. And this is where the episode, in my mind, sort of falls apart. That doesn't mean this episode has no merit at all. As I said before, as a Darkwing Duck episode, it's great. This portrayal of DW is really growing on me. We see that his ego isn't as intense as the previous Darkwing Duck from either the Jim Starlin version or the Jim Cummings version. From the original Darkwing Duck cartoon, we see that that's not the same. I think he's still too stupid. I'm sorry, I think he is. And again, from that aspect, it's great. The problem is that Bradford's role here makes no real sense, or at the very least, how we get to this point of Bradford being revealed to the Duck family as, being a high member of Fowl. Problem is that I have no idea why he's there, if for no other reason than to be exposed. Like, yeah, he says, hey, you should, Taurus Bulba's project should be canceled. You don't have to go there, Mr. McDuck. I can do it. It still doesn't explain why he had to go down there. That's the problem. He still didn't have to go. The episode tries to imply that it's, Black Heron and her stupidity as a member of Fowl that exposes him, but still, the only reason he's down there, from a writing standpoint, is well, he has to be exposed, and even the exposing didn't feel earned, because again, it's nothing Bradford does. Bradford sort of slips up a bit, but that also doesn't make sense. Bradford's been playing the long con for at least 10 years. All right, so he knows how Scrooge is, and he knows what roles expected of him to play. Maybe it works here, maybe I'm just being a bit too critical about it. Also, the fact that Huey's just suspicious for what feels like no real reason. It's sort of implied that Season 3 is supposed to be the season of Huey. Alright? Season 1 was Dewey's season, he investigating, the disappearance of his mother. Louis' season, which was dealing with Glomgold and everyone else. And so we have Huey, and he was going to be Huey versus Fowl. I mean, the first episode is about him getting the diary of Isabella Finch and being totally enthralled by all these mysteries and whatnot. And Fowl's like, they have the diary. We gotta get it. And yeah, and here we are, Huey meeting Bradford, I guess face to face for the first time. And the story doesn't really try to convince me that Huey's come to a logical conclusion about Bradford. He just thinks it's weird that Bradford's here, and Bradford's acting strange, as opposed to something strange happening that Huey should pick up on. In other words, the script is telling Huey Bradford's suspicious, instead of Bradford giving away clues that he's suspicious. In other words, Bradford's mistakes aren't his own. You never want your mystery to be solved by characters acting out of character for no real reason. At least that's how I feel. But overall, though, if you take that aspect out, did they have to be here? Was the question. Did this Fowl reveal plot have to be here? Because again, as a Darkwing Duck episode, it's great. You could have just had Launchpad and Dewey going here. That'd have been fine. You could also have just taken Scrooge out. He doesn't really do anything this episode. Same with Louis. You could have just had Dewey, Huey, Launchpad, go to St. Canard, meet Launchpad. They find Bradford. Huey's wondering where Bradford's here, is on the itinerary, Scrooge says something about Bradford being somewhere else. That would work. But no. Instead, this has to happen. Anyway, with that in mind, we're going to bring this video closely. What you guys think about this episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you love the Disney multiverse now, which says possibly every story happened? The fact that that Darkwing Duck's Rogues Gallery comes from another universe, to me, is hilarious. And they come from a Darkwing Duck universe. I love that. Love that. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you all later. This is Mike Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching, and as always, may your fandom serve you well.
Bradford? Foul. Well, I suppose you'd rather fly around in an unmarked helicopter.
Yes! Your little adventure fantasy is coming to an end, McDuck.
Our reality just got a lot more dangerous.